Very good. Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. I guess we're going to talk about the skin event. Maybe we'll talk about the PETA contest coming up soon. But the link is in the right hand side in case anybody'd like to join the show. And let me go ahead and introduce everybody. Magic Mike. Alrighty. Kenny, welcome back.
Thank you. See you later. Just kidding.
Okay. And Lady Cat.
Hello.
Hello. And Derpy.
Feeling positive.
Positive and pretty. That's good to hear.
There's
Alrighty.
positive news out there now.
Yeah. Well, let's go and let's go ahead and go to BP next week, where we get the question that we were all wondering about. Next week we're going to have Sword of Legion, in case anybody wants to continue to upgrade your Gladius. Tides of March is, I forget that one. What's that one?
That's Praetorian's old news. Don't bother.
Yeah, it's almost, I don't know why they would have it out there, but because I guess if you're upgrading your Praetorians, and the new Trencher campaign, Creeping Barrage, notes go live by the end of the day. So
I like that one. I like new TLCs that hopefully give us a few build tokens, maybe a few upgrade tokens in there. A new relevant TLC instead of a one for Silverfish.
Yeah, or Praetorians. And we have the October pillage briefing. Before we get the news, it's not going to be the disco ball missile. It is going to be the blacklight missile. So they're both, nightclub appropriate, aren't they?
What are you finding under the blacklight?
I don't know. But yeah, that could be part of it with their whole optics thing. And with the new FTL engine.
Faster than light?
I don't know. I don't understand that, though. Get your hands on and tackle assault targets. Is that a prize?
It sounds like it's a prize.
Okay.
We expect a weapon, limited weapon, and an engine if they do what they did last month, right?
Yeah, but it says tackle the assault. Okay, so I guess we win it and then we're supposed to refit it. No, it's the way it's written is the problem I have.
Yeah, it's not written.
Yeah, it's for future targets versus current ones.
Yeah. Okay. And stay tuned for more information. Raid strategy guide.
For the raid happening the week after. Yeah.
Yeah. So, which I assume the second month of the second raid strategy guides are simplistic.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be the right word. And then October pillage. So I guess we have 2 new prizes, and but we don't have the limited blacklight missile, which we should, if things go to form, we should have a chance to get 40 of them before the first raid of the new cycle. So any thoughts on what's going on next week, or should we go one step backwards? Or one slide backwards? All right. This appears, TSM, hey TSM, did a video, and he used the Black Spot rogue crew, which drops out of the, what's the name of the event again? It's the name of the show. It's the
Devil to Pay.
Devil to Pay. It's supposed to drop, from what I know, out of those the Devil to Pay chest, but I've seen people, it take them 50 some chest in order to get it, It seems to be, from what I can tell, it seems to be a little bit on the close to the mandatory side in order to do that target for anything close to reasonable damage. So it seems like the drop on it is a little low.
I would agree it's low. I would not agree that it's necessarily mandatory to do. I've seen a few people with, S1 fleets doing the thing without the crew for 4 hours damage, give or take.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, I said reasonable damage. I don't consider 4 hours damage to get a 1 of 12 shard for a skin. That's 40 hours, 48 hours of damage with that. I don't know.
That's fair. That's a fair That's a fair thought behind that.
So it'd be nice if they up the drops and got 2 crews and 3 sets. So basically, it sounds like TSM got 2 crews out of 15. So it's a better luck than some other people I've seen on Discord in regards to the drop ratio.
I got 1 out of 3.
You got 1 out of
been lucky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come hit your base.
Yeah, I got two skins and a black spot.
Huh. Well, 2 out of so you've only
I've only hit 3.
You've only opened 3 chests.
3 targets, but that's what I got out of them.
Okay.
An Everest skin, a Gladius skin, and a black spot.
Yeah, and TSM, like I said, TSM just takes because as it says, it produces a heavy damage aura for the Typhoons and the Jug X's. Is there Jug X's in the target? I haven't hit it yet. I thought there was Typhoons, but he just bull rushed it with in his video using this, and it seemed to work quite well. You didn't have to deal with the battlecruiser surgeon ships, and just stormed right in and took 49 minutes of damage. So,
Do you have to have crew space available in order to get the crew? I mean, I have 50 crews right now. Do I have to free up one?
I don't know.
With what was the name of it? The mermaid one?
Yeah, the Siren Crew.
The Siren Crew. That dropped later, but that overfilled my crews. I'm assuming, I don't know. Either that or it's probably when you open it, it'll give you a warning one way or the other. When you open the... okay.
TSM says you need room.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you'll get a warning. Just like if you've opened previous ones, you'll get, uranium or whatever special, all your resources are maxed. You'll get a warning. So I'm assuming you would get a warning for this one as well.
I don't assume anything when it comes to kicks. And if you guys aren't getting the crews, check and see if you're full up. Make sure you have at least 1 space available just in case.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
TSM, did you get a warning? Because otherwise, how... You're sure you lost one? Or I don't know how you would know that. I'm a little confused. I can't read. Okay, so it did give you a warning. You just didn't pay attention to it, I assume. Okay. Okay. So, I don't know. The 80 level targets are fairly easy, and they're auditable for not a huge amount of damage from north or south. The 800 level target is if you drive around for a bit and screw around with the surgeon ships, you should be able to get that one done for
instant in base.
Yeah, 9 to 15 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood. So
Yeah, if you have a U0 fleet, it might be a little bit more, but it's not a bad target at all.
hmm and so I don't know. Does anybody else have any thoughts on it? When it's just for skins and stuff, I'm not terribly, you know.
Yeah, it's a fun optional event. I don't know if I'll like it enough to hit 12902s for that Everest Fire skin. But skip it if you want to. Get you no benefit. I have seen a few people posting a few build upgrade tokens for the Gladius or for the Gladius. If you're missing 10 upgrade kits, maybe hit a few targets, see what you get.
Okay, and they only have sorry because of they only have that for the base Gladius, not for the Mons Gladius.
I saw a screenshot with the mains Gladius actually.
Okay, so that might be helpful for you, Mike, if you're there. Okay, I did 10. Okay, good. So yeah, seems like definitely a doable event. If you want to go to slide, oops, I'm all the way at Sword of Legion, slide 7. Alrighty, the High Ground TLC, which gives you build tokens for your Everest and Everest flag, but highlighted by the 2 new armors with the ability to get 3 each for your Everest. I've only done the first prize pack on auto, and that was quite easy. These are Praetorian targets. Has anybody done? I think Mike, you even autoed prize pack 2, didn't you? I don't know why I keep on calling
Yeah,
it.
I think he has. I autoed most of that one as well. I did take over to drive at one point because one ship decided to go off away from everything else in second or third encounter. But I was just autoing it with my Everest fleet.
I've been autoing it with only 2 ships, and it made it all the way to the mastery.
Oh, you just went straight through from 1 to 3, and then autoing and didn't repair.
Yeah, I had to repair in between. I had to spend 3 or 4 hours repairing in between, but each time I was able to finish with the 2 ships.
Okay.
But that's not too bad.
Yeah, so if you made it to prize pack 3 with 2 ships, the mastery rounds should be the same.
No, I've already done 2 rounds of that too, and it's about the same as 3.
Okay, and you're autoing it with just 2 normal Everest.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so it sounds fairly easy. So
I also did it with the other ships, the ones that it was designed for, and they can finish it too if they're upgraded. But it's not as easy as it is with the Everest.
okay, so you took more damage with your Praetorian.
Yeah, it took the entire fleet of Praetorians, but that's like 12 hours damage instead of 3 or 4. So.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you autoed the mastery round for about 3.5 hours repair, and it's interesting, and because I'm assuming there's a lot of splash damage, the fact that that Kenny's doing it with 2 for less damage might be might be a little clue as far as things go, and that if you're autoing it with a full fleet, you might be taking unnecessary damage, and you could split your fleet into 2 and auto using 2 ships, and then auto using the flag and another ship, and potentially take less damage overall, and get 2 of the mastery rounds done instead of 1. Does that make sense according to if I interpreted what you were saying right, Kenny?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it sounds like.
Okay. and Josh is doing it with 4 I'm assuming unarmored, because unarmed might be tricky.
I don't know how you're gonna drive the target if you don't have any arms. Although I guess if it's on auto, you don't need to drive it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm assuming there's an O missing out of or arm, or an O and an R missing out of that. Is that?
Maybe it's a U. Maybe it's French.
I don't know, but yeah, with no weapons on it, you're not going to make it through. So, all right. So we've covered higher ground on how to auto it. We've basically covered the special event as well. Is it time to go straight to the PETA contest that's upcoming, or and who has any ideas and how you're going to move forward?
The what contest?
The PETA contest.
Like PETA bread?
Pets, costume.
No, PETA.
Ah,
Yes.
the organization we all love.
Yes. Well, after I saw that picture of that poor Boston Terrier that was not going to be able to eat with just the food like inches from his mouth or drink, I started calling it the PETA contest. So,
Well, if you wanted me to hit an 802, I could do that. I've been doing a few of them here while we've been talking.
Okay, we'll light it up, and I will. I can do it with 2. Okay, I can do it with 2. Only 28 minutes of damage. I'm assuming that is the mastery round.
Well, you got to be driving.
Yeah. But 2, I mean, that seems to be. I don't know. I guess we should drive it. The people that have, like that might be more interesting if the fact that we have, go ahead and hit that. But it might be interesting to see what kind of times you get driving it, because you have the ability to pretty much get rid of a lot of the splash damage if you drive it.
I drove price pack 1 only, and I was in base instant repair all the way through. But then that's only four levels on the first one. But
yeah.
I think direction might matter a little bit on the 802 where you enter from. I
spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time chasing around trying to avoid the bloody typhoon to get the little buggers.
Yeah, so I just start out, when you start moving, if you go directly at it, it's going to hit you. And if you move directly away from it, it will eventually start chasing you sort of directly, and it's slower than you. So just get it behind you, moving in the same direction, and you'll be okay. And then I like to hit the little battle cruiser things from the side here, so your black spot can catch on. And that's about it. Try to avoid going through clouds.
Yeah, the clouds are the punishing part. Yeah, so basically your point is you don't want to hit it from the back, because they're faster than you, and they'll release prior to that, before you can get the special weapon, the slow, because there's the special weapon on the flag has a slow component that allows you to kill them. But if you try to go directly from the back, you may not even get a shot that hits them. They might run away prior to that.
Exactly. And just make sure you kill all of the battle cruisers, because I've missed a few sometimes, and then I engage the Typhoon, and I'm like, it's not dying. Oh, I missed one on the other side of the target.
Oh, Maggie, or it's for the 802. It's 5K plus a 5K bonus. So if you actually have somebody just sitting in the target, they will also get 5K. So you'll get a completion bonus off a single target, and anybody that's in the target with you will also get the 5K. The first 5K is just for damage done. Alrighty. Wow, that looks like less damage than your normal.
Yeah. Maybe I drove a bit better there. But all concussive.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, 5,000 points earned total from this round, because I got the step bonus, like we were saying.
Yeah.
And let me redeem a chest. I guess I've got 9 total now. And I got, 50,000 energy. So fantastic use of my time there.
Well,
Thank you, Kickside. Very cool.
Let's see what your repair time, because it looked really low.
I'll bet 8 minutes, 17 seconds.
I'm taking the under.
Really?
It looked like just a minuscule amount, but you said 847. So
I said 8:17, didn't I?
847. We can go back and look at 923. Oh well, you're right. Well, I should have picked the over, but yeah. Let's see. First mastery I did took 2 hours and 40 minutes driving, full driving. I'm curious what your setup is, because that's it. If people are taking, how much did you say you were taking, Jeff? With you were taking 3 hours of damage, autoing with 2. Kenny?
Yep.
Okay. I'm wondering what your setup might be, Josh. If you have, do you have a HVR on your flagship? Foxy, how do you get the badge? Is there a badge?
You get the badge by killing the 902, which I was gonna try doing just with no crew to see how painful it is.
Okay. All right. You're gonna watch how to get the badge.
Yeah. Or die trying.
All right.
Okay, here we go. And this is intended to be a very challenging co-op target. So
yeah.
Now there are some Jug X's in here and some ammo carriers that have a little bluish bar on there. I think they start shrouded and they're sort of friendly, and you can unlock them by doing something. Not totally sure what. All I know is I want to avoid this thing in the middle until everything's dead.
Okay, so it's the Jug X's, because I watched it before, and it's the Jug X's that shroud?
Well, let's see.
I think it's them that shroud. No?
Yeah, those are shrouded.
Okay, those shroud. But you can still kill them. I'm confused by them.
I'm not sure.
Because they're firing on the Jug X's are firing on the fuel carriers.
I can't kill the Jug X's or the fuel carriers. But this guy's going around. The Typhoon's going around shooting at the ammo carriers.
But so are the Jug X's. See who's shooting the fire? The Jug X's.
Yeah, they are. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
There's an ammo carrier that turned on, so maybe that's giving me more ammo, or something. Yeah, they're shooting now. The enemy ammo carrier is shooting at my friendly ammo carrier.
Goodness. Yeah, because I watched TSM. The Aura kills the Jug. Oh, okay. That's what was happening. Okay, because I've only seen
that's the aura from the built-in crew, or that's the aura from the Black Spot crew, correct?
Yeah. That's because I watched it and I was watching them die, and I was like,
And
so
why is killing the Jagex good? Does it mean the ammo carriers don't die?
well, it seems like when they fire on them, they're not doing any damage. Maybe it's, you
Yeah.
don't have to wait for 15 minutes for them to unshroud.
This Typhoon hits pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you don't have,
My ammo is not refueling.
maybe because it's the wrong ones, maybe all yours were dead. And
Oh,
these are the
now it's
bad
refilling.
guys.
I
Okay.
don't know. But it's possible to do it with, that was my first attempt. Watch the few,
Okay, the Jug X is shooting at you now.
and it stunned me. Oh, interesting. If you're close and it shoots at you, it stuns you. Yeah, that one just got stunned as well.
Okay. But if you have the Black Spot crew, which seems to not drop on a regular basis, but no, okay, now you're stunned again. Okay.
But
So
I don't
now,
have to kill the Jagex, so.
okay.
So if I just avoid them and drive away, I'm fine.
Yeah, drag everything off to the corner, I guess. Are they? Because they sort of look like they're in preset patterns, not like they're chasing you like the other stuff.
Yeah, it was really easy to avoid those. I really didn't have to try that hard.
Yeah.
Well, now that I've hit the 902, I bet you I get the crew for it.
I bet you got a badge.
Yeah.
I bet I did. It says in the top left. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see. Let's open the chest, check my badges, open all 3. Bam! I got a Mortarhead's crew! A
Damn.
Mortarhead's crew! I'm so excited. That
It's
makes me want to go out and blitz the targets.
It's so good to be the cap.
I know.
Yeah, you're really giving me incentive to do this.
Yeah.
You want a Mortarhead crew? You can have a Mortarhead crew.
There we go. That's the step by step on how to get the badge. So, but now you have a good amount of damage. But because I was thinking, Josh sent you the build. Does he have the similar builds to what we have as far as the high projectile speed flag with? Because I'm just trying to figure out if it.
Yeah, let's see here what he's got.
Because it might make sense if you're in the mastery round to I don't know.
He's using a K2 Strike System 5 build.
Oh, okay. So and
he's got armor. He's got everything's armored with the Z1M and Z1X.
Okay. So I don't know. Do you have any interest in doing? Are you at the mastery round?
I've got a fleet on auto it right now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was curious to see what it was like driven. Because basically, from what I've seen, there's no reason to drive it.
Oop.
Uh-oh.
Because I broke my connection.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like there's a real incentive to drive this target if it's only a 20-minute difference between autoing it and driving it. But so
Yep.
Unless the build is, the difference in builds makes a big difference.
Yeah, my plan is I'm going to auto the whole 7 through with no all 5 ships, auto the entire mastery, and then just take 2 ships out of the entire mastery, and I'll post my results to the page somewhere.
Okay.
But just so we know it's the same build.
Okay.
But that's all I was going to hit for today. Unless you want to see me go hit KB's base or something.
I don't know. We should. Hey, TSM, how are you doing?
Hey, buddy, how you?
Oh, okay. And yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Okay. So, is there anything you wanted to tell the people or show them? Not to put any pressure on you. I'm just sort of.
It's not that exciting an event, is it? To be honest, I mean, it's a fine event. Actually, no, that's the wrong way of putting it. If you've got nothing to do, it's something to pass time, but it's nothing in it that's going to get you anything particularly interesting apart from a bit of visual color. So
you don't like your Mortarheads crew?
Nah, not really.
Well, you probably didn't get one. I got so lucky, you know.
Actually, mate, I got one too. I did smile.
Awesome. I can be like TSM and have a Mortarheads crew.
It did make me smile. I did chuckle, and then recycle it.
Have you? What has your approach been with the? I'm assuming you're just the high ground TLC. You're probably also just autoing.
Just autoing, mate. Yeah, I mean, you can drive it. But there's no point. You don't need to if you've got a good fleet, do you? So it's I was doing two TLC at the same time. I was doing the PvP one at the same time as the high ground. So and hitting 902s at the same time as well.
Okay, so I guess if there's a okay.
Just get stuff out of the way, doesn't it? You know, I mean, these a lot of people are doing different things for their armors. I mean, my flagship's a little bit light on armor defense, so I've actually filled up with 5 on the armor on the carrier. So as in the countermeasure flagship, because I've got quite strong normal effort. So now I can actually just go and hit the 180s full auto now, and I've tested that, and they all now sort of last the same sort of distance, whereas the flagship was dying early. No, it's not. You know, I'm a fan of it auto, so
Yeah. I was just trying to, just trying to figure out if, it just seems to be, between what Josh is telling us and Kenny's telling us, it just seems like autoing with 5 may not be beneficial.
No, I agree. Yeah.
It's certainly something to play around with.
Yeah, because it seems like if you want to auto with, if you want to repair overnight, auto with, the flag and 1 or 2, and then and then use like 3 ships, and then put them all back together, and then let it repair overnight, and you got 2 of them done.
Mm-hmm.
So, no real challenge in that. So, okay.
I wouldn't waste your click time building another devout zealot. Unless you want to.
We've moved on, haven't we? So.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Did we miss anything here?
It's a surprising quiet. I mean, okay, the event's obviously a stocking filler because of the number of weeks we've got. I can't work out what to do with all my FM tokens, I must admit. But then that's probably just because I always get myself ahead. But
you have your you already have your Herald done.
Yeah, I've got the. So I stacked up a load of Defender tokens from before, and then obviously I had. What did I have? Oh yeah, because I didn't have to build the Everest with normal FM tokens. I went through, as I said before, and got about 35 garrison tokens stacked up that I've been doing over the year. Well, those little deals that came up with like 4 tokens and something for like 89 coin. I was just doing them every time I had a bit of spare coin, knowing that there was going to be a new garrison fleet coming eventually. And then basically I've still got loads of garrison tokens left, so I've used my FM tokens for all the other stuff. So I'm wondering already now, in that lucky position, I suppose now, which obviously it's coin is time, isn't it, and that sort of stuff. And now I've got time on my hands, and I don't know what to do with the freaking FM tokens. So I'm probably gonna have to just not do this FM. Well, I'll get the
do some refit or.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to refit, to be honest. I don't know.
Could you use them to put the armors from the TLC on to?
Yeah, no, I did that, but I still had some garrisons left over as well. So yeah, I did burn off some of
But
the.
you can keep the garrisons forever.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about it, and I've noticed they've stopped doing that deal now.
Yeah, I don't think that we've seen too many non-tier locked tokens come out in a while, or tier or hull locked.
Yeah, I built my whole Everest fleet with those tokens, a whole lot, and it's considerably cheaper than doing it any other way, I think. So. And instant, straight away. So it's just lucky. But yeah, it's a bit of a quiet week, if anything, in the game, which is nice. It's nice to have a catch-up week where you can actually just go and do stuff, have fun. People have been hitting some bases. I've watched a few people hit me. It's been quite.
Yeah, I went and hit TSM and he got me. I was almost there, but I
at least you did it, mate. At least you did.
I got through the channel.
Yeah,
I was shooting at your ship, and then I died.
See, getting to the back of bases is not the way ahead anymore, is it?
Because it's interesting for sure, and then
it makes it really difficult.
The trenchers really don't do a lot. Warhounds are great versus gatekeepers. They do enough damage to Piranha and Overlord to kill them pretty quickly, whereas trenchers don't really do a whole ton of damage to those kind of ships.
The thing is, now you've got three things to worry about, haven't you? You've got gates to sort of like breathe through, which is not too bad, but they still mean you're focusing fire elsewhere. Then you've obviously got those short range turrets, which you can't pinch if you've got the right things on your OP anyway. So you're going to take the incoming damage no matter what. You've got to drive through the freaking Overlord, which has got the slowdown on it anyway. And if you're going to try and be standoffish with it, then obviously you're going to be taking the incoming morts. And then you've got to worry about people that have obviously got the subs in there as well. And then on top of that, now you've obviously got piranhas, which are chasing your ass all the time as well. So
and if you ignore any of those,
it's a right mess, isn't it? So it's still a defender's paradise, I think, at the moment. But yeah, I got I did get taken down the other day with some hailstorms, but I've made some adjustments and just waiting for the next person to come back, sort of stuff. But whether it'll work or not, because so few people hit these days, you're sort of like waiting around to go, well, I don't know if it's going to work or not, because you might get 2 or 3 hits a month. I think that's about it.
Yeah. Well, hey, Simba.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Sim.
There's trouble.
I'm not trouble. I'm a good girl.
But yeah, so PvP is still in a funny place at the moment, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
But obviously, the nerf to the sub was a bit obvious. That was coming, wasn't it? The projectile speed reduction to try and stop people going out on the season, knocking out.
Yeah. Hey, how much FEF have you done with that one?
Only the video, mate. That was it.
Oh,
you went and hit someone's bounty. You went and hit someone's just unattended fleet during bounty, didn't you?
I think he went to bed for the night because I checked both of them. They hadn't moved for about 40 minutes. I went, oh, it must be all right. And I sent apologies. I'm rubbish. As I said to you, mate, in the thing, I'd be a rubbish pirate in the real life.
I don't know that. That sub was a lot of fun when it first came out, especially when fleet on fleet.
Yeah, and it could still be a bit of fun,
Well, it depends as long as you don't catch interceptors.
Yeah. But just don't catch interceptors then, because they can't do mixed fleets. So just, but I mean, the good thing about it, is even if you got interceptors, if you want to block someone coming into one of your alliance bases, you can sit there and block them forever. If they were trying to fix their base up or make some adjustments quickly, you can put that sub on their base, and no matter what they want to do, they're not going to find you because you're deep diving anyway. You can just time out the whole thing, just keep going around in circles. They can't. As long as you
exactly.
Don't
so you're saying if you keep moving, there's no way to lose?
it's impossible. Yeah, you can't lose.
And then it doesn't surface.
Is that healthy?
It'll time them out and ruins out the crew.
And you're still sitting on their base protecting them. Yeah, so that's an unhealthy way of playing the game, but it's back to what it used to be like 8 years ago. Yeah, with ghost crawlers, the same sort of thing, but even better in some respects. That means.
Yeah, because that one could lose when it did go to regular surface or shallow dive or whatever it was.
You had to play the game, didn't you? Of is it going to deep dive or isn't it going to deep dive? Yeah, but this thing is just deep diving all the time. So
yeah, keep it moving. All you gotta do is do the waypoints and keep going.
And then come back in about a minute and a half and do another set of waypoints, and then it's just timed out anyway then. Go make a brew.
Well, there you go.
I mean, and people are, I'm sure will use that tactic sort of stuff, But if someone's like trying to save their base, and you've got an alliance member who's trying to do bounty, and he doesn't want his base hit, well, then you just block someone from taking anything out of their base. They're not going to get in because you can sit there on the outside of the base, put it on guard, and they can bounty away for as long as they like, as long as you're on as well.
Just means you're at a halt.
Yeah, but if you're done, you're done, aren't you? Sort of stuff, I get through
I've got
this first day. I normally do it the first night, and that's it. I'll stop playing after that.
I've got 6 days left on my blank, so I might use a few tokens. I think I have to spend the 1 day token this week, so I might have it done by the time raid starts. And
all you need is an engine and one weapon.
Yeah,
you don't put anything else on it, because in the day, if you're using it as a blocking tool, you don't need to even do anything fancy with it.
and if I want to kill some fleets, I can even increase the projectile speed a little bit.
That's what I did. Yeah, I did the same thing. I went for that.
Now I have to redesign my base to protect against this thing, so it's pretty powerful.
It is. It was more powerful in the first couple of hours when it could take out gates, because that was like excellent. Because I settled up and it took out all 3 gates in one hit in someone's base. I went, "You've got to be kidding me!" I wish I'd videoed it. I forgot to do it, but and then obviously the update came in. They went, "Oh no, that was wrong. We shouldn't have done that." So it's just down to taking down walls, which was okay, but it's a bit slower. But yeah, when I sort of I was trialing it out, went right. I built this thing now. Let's go and have a little play. I was like, I didn't put it in the video because they did the adjustments, but yeah. Well, I sailed up to those gates and took all 3 out in one volley. I was like, this is going to be hell for people. This is, but obviously they got rid of it, so that's good. It's yeah, it was funny. But yeah, I don't think it's helped anybody really in base hitting, because obviously you lose a ship to take this in, and obviously if that's the last ship alive, as somebody picked up on the video I did of trying to show it in all different sort of uses. Yeah, if it's the last ship alive, well, it can't hit anything on the that's not on the sea. As in, if there's no ship in there, it's going to do nothing. So,
well, if you have your overlord placed wrong, it can kill the overlord.
Yeah, I've got
it freeze.
It's strong against people who haven't put a thought or two into defending it, and still even probably moderately good. I can't speak to it that much. Moderately good if people have thought about it somewhat.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a different discussion, but I'm not sure it's helped PvP, to be honest. I mean, it's an interesting little ship, but I don't think it's interesting in the right way. I don't think it's actually helped the PvP situation in any way, shape, or form. When they said they were going to get a flagship, that's not quite what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking, boost other parts of the entire fleet.
Yeah, something that would give a bonus of, if you built, say, Warhounds and you had a X number of defense capabilities on it and that sort of stuff, then when you put it in, it'd give you a 10 or 15% boost, just like being an alliance, getting all the bonuses. And it would do that. And if you switch to trenches, it would up the stats on the trenches, and just be a generic stat booster. Which we have had some PvE ships that have done that before, So this thing here is almost like a standalone ship. Use it as you so choose. It can't even be seen on the sea. I mean, it can obviously, because obviously there's a PvE ship that can see it. But then as soon as you want to go and hit it, you got to change to a PvP ship, which means you've lost it again. So
can't basilisks see it?
Nothing can see it, mate.
You can spot them with basilisks.
You can see it on the map.
On the map,
but you can't.
That's it.
But not fleet on fleet.
Yeah, but there's a couple of ships that can see the darn thing. There's nothing can hit it unless it's guarding a base, and it's also really good in, obviously, if you're going to use it in, if someone wants to defend against, for, not that many people do mega ship fights anymore, but
Yeah, don't mention the mega ship around here. I think I used mine this month to get some free bounty points. So there you go.
Yeah, somebody hit mine yesterday. I think it was for Comics with Alliance. It was, and I was like, "Oh, bless him." It's just been sitting there for weeks doing nothing.
Yeah, if you guys want to do 20 minutes on megas, I can go get another beer, but it's all good.
No, you're fine, mate. You're fine. I'm just swapping that. I'm swapping out things on my mega ship just to build other things to have a rotation or something to do. So I'm building everything up to level 4 now, just to pass time because it's free, isn't it? Basically, so
yeah.
Doesn't need
How's
it.
everyone doing on the event?
I'm bored. I've had enough. Done it all.
What do you watch the show?
Got all the colourful things. That was it. So
you got all the 12 shards.
Yeah. I did that. I did that in the first. Well, obviously the first video I put out showing the 3 different targets did that, and I burnt off a crew because I didn't read any of the actual guide. I just thought I'd go and hit the targets because I finished work and I came home. And then I realised what you had to do, so I rolled I hit some 83s. Which I was fixing on the C auto because I was using a Grease Monkey crew, stacked up 15 or 16, and then rolled those the crews, and then obviously got two of the crews, and then went and hit one properly, sort of stuff. But I lost the second crew because I was overstacked. So I was like, yeah, great, that was clever. So I had to do all. Well, I'd already got one from the other night, so I had to do 11 in 20 minutes, and I managed to do it. So that's why I was going for a bull in the china shop. Just hit those straight in, hit the typhoon, and then hit the 4 ships, and that's it. Ignore everything else, and you don't need to hit anything else. Nothing else does any damage to you anyway. So.
Okay.
I was saying that Liam posted a thing up on the TFC page, and he's got a slightly different route. And if you're willing to go a bit slower, but only by a minute, mind, I think his route's actually better than mine, to be honest. Because he goes in from 6 o'clock instead, and he's got a way of using one of his own carriers to act as a shield. Just take a bit longer, so you might not get quite so many in. But then again, you only need 12, don't you? So,
that Liam? The same Liam?
No. Different person.
That was like, wow.
I was like, wow.
TSM is taking driving tips from Liam. This is like
that Liam has got no time this day and age for this sort of stuff anymore. He's definitely moved on.
Yeah. I was like, this is a special day, but yeah, okay.
He's a busy boy these days.
Okay.
He's doing very well, mine, but his company's going from strength to strength, even in this COVID world. But he doesn't do this anymore. He hasn't got no time for anything like that anymore.
Okay. Very good. So, I don't know. Do we have any sort of final questions, or anybody either in the group or
so the thing I was thinking about, how are they going to break down? Talking of PvP, which we don't talk about a great deal, it's nearly always PvE, but how do you think they're going to break the mold, and change things so that no one's really hitting any bases at all still? It's almost a defender's paradise once you've built everything.
I don't know. I mean, we don't need another hole.
I don't know how they're going to do it. And then if they do it so much the other way, it'll swing, and then everyone will just get completely jacked off. So it's a bit.
We've gotten a few random upgrades for Warhounds and Trenchers, but they haven't been that great.
But the Overlords killed it. You can put trenches to U1. I've had a couple of fleets this week, and you came in had a play as well. Unless you stop and kill things, which means you're then in the way of the turrets and all the other crap that's in there as well. You're in the back of the base, and in the old days, go in the back of the base, and you can fire around the mountains, that stuff. The Overlord's going to smash the hell out of you. All the piranhas are going to chase you down, and then a normal turret will wipe you out. So. They've really created themselves quite a monster situation, I think, for people attacking bases at the moment.
Yeah, and
it's difficult. I do feel sorry for the big alliances. I mean, my alliance has always been quite small. Other runs it now, but it doesn't really bother me. I don't care, to be honest. But for those people that are in those alliances that it is important, I'm sure they're having a pretty crappy time, to be honest, at the moment.
No, it's still fun.
You don't get to pick on each other too much. The big alliances. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the question as far as creating better balance between attacker and defender, or getting more people to participate in attacking.
Participation, surely, isn't it? I mean, that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? Isn't that Kickstarter's goal? Isn't it? It's about numbers. Okay, it's about coin, obviously. It's about spending, obviously. But at the end of the day, their goal is to have everybody on 24/7. That's what they want, isn't it? The game is designed to keep you on as long as possible. You know.
And do they make money from that?
I have no
They make
idea.
money. I don't know. I mean,
I always wonder that.
Yeah.
Because there's in this game to stay caught up or whatever else, however you want to describe it, you have to spend some combination on a spectrum from all money, no time, like blitzing everything, buying all the LTOs, all money, no time, to all time, no money, which is generally speaking what I tend to lean towards more. You know, playing the event, grinding things out, hitting some lower targets for instant repair, some stuff like that. And if they try and keep you on 24/7, playing all the time, which you can do for free if you're already caught up, spending no money, I don't know. I think they should be trying to make me play less but spend more.
It's an interesting conundrum, isn't it? I have to say, you know that. I mean, that's the good thing I like about your videos versus my videos, sort of stuff. You know, I openly admit, you know, I coin my way to keep myself up to speed because I literally do not have the time like I used to. And I've spoken about it before a couple of years ago, where I spent more time doing TFC/BP than I did actually being at work, and it just got ridiculous. And I stopped for a whole year for other reasons as well, but I stopped. You know, now never going back to that situation. You know, I do what I want. I spend an hour a day maybe doing it and that sort of stuff, you know, getting just as much enjoyment, you know, but I've got other things that I do as well. I like making videos, always have done, so that's why sort of getting back to it, because, you know, they're interesting to do and they're always fun sort of stuff, you know. But yeah, as opposed to sitting on, and some of my, you know, friends in my small alliance, they don't coin a damn thing, but they spend a hell of a lot of time on the game, you know, still, which you know, I don't anymore, and I couldn't imagine myself doing that, to be honest, because sat looking at a screen for hours on end, you know, doing the same repetitive thing is just like the dullest thing in the world. But if that's what you got to do to keep up for free, I suppose that's what you got to do to keep up, and coining is just buying time, isn't it? That's all it is. You know, in some ways it's accelerating fun, because this is only about entertainment and nothing other than entertainment. It's supposed to be entertaining, otherwise it wouldn't be called a game. But
you sort of bridged over to a different subject. Is that it's more PvE related? Is target repetition? You know, back when in the heyday of this game, we didn't have to worry about having to you know, over the lifetime of a haul, or you know, of a haul, having to hit the same target. I don't know. You know, we see it in the raid, then we see it in TLCs, and we see it in pillage, then we see it again. You know, we have to hit the same target. What? At least 100 times, right?
Yeah. I mean, the heyday of the game, it was an FEF game. You know, in the real heyday.
Yeah.
Stuff. I mean, and then it developed onto base attacks, and base attacks were fun, but you still did more. You know, you still did more FEF than you did, because actually one person went and hit the base, 50 people went and defend the base, or attack attack the people that were defending the base. You know, and that's when it was real fun. And I know they've tried with Interceptor to bring that back, but they still didn't do it in the way that, you know, you created that ship. You could go back to your base, fix it instantly, come back out again, and you spent all night messing around, taking each other out, and, you know, oh, I'm going to just this and do this to my ship, and that was the real sort of like, oh, it was crazy, you know.
But they reached the point where they decided, and you still see it a little bit, and well, you see it a lot, especially in base repair, where we have to, okay, like level 1 is, okay, instant repair. Level 2, we got to add on to that. You know, now we're at tier 9, so they keep on adding repair onto things, and so that, I think that's the reason, because there was really no reward for fleet versus fleet, except for by the chance
there was entertainment, and
there was entertainment. Yes,
you created your own entertainment. And by the fact of slating each other on the comms, because there was no alley comms back then, but you created entertainment, and you'd be like just laughing. You know, I can remember doing, you know, remember the days where you go, right, we'll all meet up at 8 o'clock and we'd all go across the next, the next sector, and you'd have like 50 to 100 ships all sail to the left and to the right, sort of stuff. Then, or you just use the free ones and just go, right, everybody pick a base, all go, and you'd laugh your head off for like 20 minutes. So it took a week to plan the damn thing, but it was funny,
Yeah, but what changed was, the repair times. Before, like you said, you could instantly repair it. I mean, and then they've made some work as far as reducing the absolute repair time with the interceptors and the Conqueror reductions, but that was the main thing, was the fact that
but those are still in isolation, aren't they? Not many people are going to go out with interceptors. I mean, some people do go out there and snipe and that sort of stuff, but the repercussions of doing that. Whereas in the old days it was FVF, and you knew what was coming. It didn't matter what it was. You knew you were going to be in an FVF battle probably for the whole of that evening. And that was sector versus sector. That wasn't alliances. That was just a complete sector going, right, well, we're not going to stand for this. And the sector comms was hysterically funny. But anyway, I don't know. It's just, those days won't come back because the game is developed, and I mean, hell, good God, what are we in now? Year 9 plus? I don't know.
Over 10.
Is it 10 now? Well, blinked.
Yeah, we're at 10. I mean, at least that's what it shows on my, on my forum ID. It's over. It says about 10 years or something like that.
I should look something like that. Yeah, I can't. It's been that long. I forgot to look, to be honest, mate. I mean, you've got a really low ID. Mine's 50k, I think, or 500k. I think it's something like that.
I did too. I never hit these.
Anyway, yes. So I don't know. Ultimately, going back to that PvP, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I have to say, it needs to be reworked because it's not working. The 2 ships they just brought out, one, they made it worse. No, one, they rebalanced the bases because bases could do nothing. So people that are building it, even if you put nothing on it, weapons wise, if you put it in the right place with a slowdown effect, you're in a good position. You really are. If you put it with the morts on as well and put it in the right place, even if you get to the back of the base, they aren't gonna get you.
Yeah, but I was thinking, as far as back to the original question, as far as increasing participation in that, is I think it's probably one is you live in a more coin generous world than I think a lot of players, is one, get rid of the long dock repair time. It's too long for, if I hit you come back, hit me, and my dock is knocked out. If I wanted to, it's great that they've created instant repair, or not instant repair, but it starts repairing once it's hit, even if you're not online. But it is, it's not great for a lot of people.
It's the one building that should instant repair no matter what. It's the one thing that stops the non-coiner, which is, and let's not be disrespectful to anybody, because I'm not a big PvP player either. Even though I like building ships, I love building ships because that's the engineering background that I've got. Really enjoy it, But ultimately, you have a vast percentage of this game where those player base that you need, but they don't spend any money. But if you don't have them in the game, what the hell's the rest of them that are spending money going to go and hit? But the fact that you take out their dock and they're sat there for 2 hours going, or an hour, or half an hour even, they moved on to something else. They've moved across, they've gone shopping, or they've done something else, and they come back and they go, and they forgot. So they came back 2 hours later. And then if half the player base do that, then there's nothing out there for anybody else to do anything. They can't even come back and do a revenge because they've moved on, or they've gone to bed, or they've gone to work or something like that. So that's why making that dock instant fix a second, no matter what happens. Win or lose doesn't make a difference. That dock is available. They can come out and do reprisal instantly. Then the challenge is back into, if I'm going to hit that base, that individual's going to come back and maybe snap my fleet or do X, Y, Z. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and there's also the I see two factors associated with that. One is okay. Well, one, let's say he's doing a TLC and you knock out his dock. Then that person is going to be like, okay, I already have 6 hours of repair on my PVE fleet, and now I can if he's trying to go back and forth or he's locked in there, that's one issue. But the other issue you brought up is as far as reprisal. I mean, people used to do burning bases, where somebody gets leveled, they'll coin back their dock and they'll go, or they'll have a fleet on the water, but their base is basically there's nothing there to defend it anymore. And so then the other, if it's not the person you hit, if you won and he doesn't want to coin back his base, then his alliance members are going to come and run over your base.
Yeah.
So it's
totally agree. It's an interesting conundrum, I have to say. I mean, people that have the shards or have some shards or the sub. So by the end of November, even those that don't coin at all but haven't been able to get it will be in a position, because I know there's plenty of people eyeballing that sub because they're thinking, I can soon be a complete arsehole, and I can actually annoy those really big players that spend a fortune in those really massive alliances, and they can come and level my base, but that ship that's out on the water, they can't touch it. I can go around and snipe as many of them as I feel like it, and fair dues, crack on. I think that's quite funny, but it's really going to cause some angst. Come Christmas, it'll be a new year that some people won't be happy with, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that.
Take us back, which is why I titled that video. It's gone back again. We've gone back 6 years almost to when ghost crawlers and things were out and that sort of stuff. When people were absolutely annihilating each other with ships that people just didn't understand how the mechanics worked. They didn't understand how to defend against it. They couldn't find the darn thing. And we've literally gone full circle, but in some respects, even worse.
Yeah. I mean, it is a complicated fix to a problem that was created a long time ago when they created multiple population or class types of players through the changes of the game. That people came in and started participating in the game at different times along the way, and they have different ideas on what the game should be, or what's what the game is to them. And with the fact that it appears at this point, with saltwater arming being included, there's nobody, as far as I can tell, there's nobody left that
in terms of
anybody in at Kixeye that understands how the game has changed over the years, and how they have different groups of people with different expectations of the game, because the game has changed significantly over time. That's
So then you have those bands, whereas you have the bands of the A band, the B band, the C band. A band wanted it to be like it was then. B band wanted when they had their heyday. C band, it must be a nightmare trying to appease them all, because I long for a day, almost in the FVF era. Well, there's not many players like that left anymore. Some people think, I was talking to somebody earlier on. In fact, it's the chap that Liam that posted the video. His heyday was Draconian days, Drex and that sort of stuff, and Juggernauts and those sort of things, and that was a great time, But MCXs, that was a great time, wasn't it? We've all had our great times. And it's whatever we all long for the past. People thought the 60s was fantastic. Well, only because you can't really remember.
Except for Derpy. Derpy was not. I wasn't around. Even though
we're talking 1860s, 1960s, or just plain old 60s.
The 60s was fantastic. Man with the Moon, all that sort of stuff. Flower Power, and all those sort of things. Fantastic. But then again, those people that I knew about life in the 70s. But my parents were always talking about the 50s, and they go, the 50s was amazing, and that sort of stuff. And now we're sort of like sitting in 2020, and people are going, oh, well, the game's X, Y, and Z, and it was better then. Was it better then? It used to take 2 hours to go to the next sector and back.
Yeah, grass is always greener on the other side.
And the pre-battle log days, because then nobody knew who hit you.
Yeah, you had no idea.
Yeah. And even if like people around them saw you, you could head in one direction for like 3 hours, and then
waste the whole evening doing nothing.
And then make a turn. And they were all shrouded. Everything was shrouded, so they couldn't. If you went 3 hours in one direction and then went up, well, not 3 hours, but 2 hours in one direction, and then just decided to make a turn and then go toward your base, they would have no idea who hit your base. Yeah, because when the battle log came in and you actually knew who hit your base, it changed everything. Because everybody was trying to, hit these things through espionage, and basically you hit them, and then nobody knew who hit you unless you were stupid. And then, because then they didn't know who to hit back. Because I used to hit this one guy pretty much every day. And because, the communication from Kickside was not great. And he had all his turrets. He had all his defense platforms upgraded to the max capacity. And he was probably wondering why I kept them just running over his base, not taking any damage, and getting all his resources. It was because he never put turrets on them. And I was like,
and you were laughing to yourself.
That's good.
Yeah, I would, and I think he spoke a different language, because I would tell him, you need to put some you need to put some guns on top of those, and no, he didn't quite do it. So I don't know that he plays anymore. That would be
right. So I'll show you something. Look, I just found. I was talking to this chap, like I said earlier on, and I just managed to find. I don't know how. Don't show those tips again. So I'm just going to show you this video. Look, and if you can see the screen, like you won't be able to hear the sound, which is good because it's copyrighted. So this is off my own PC, off a hard drive I found earlier on of old videos. So an FVF battle. Look at the state of that old ship. But look at just weird thing. Look at the sea. Look at how things have developed. And we complain about the game today. I want to think, that was the time to live for. Look at the state of it, and we'll go forward through the video a little bit.
It looks like graphics that were 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting to see what the warehouses look like, because at one point the warehouses look like a bed with a really fluffy comforter. So let's see if they have those warehouses at this point, because I made some comments to.
Look at the round. There's only a single comm screen down there, because I was like, look at the bottom right hand corner, the information you got, which was not a huge amount. It's just weird. And look at the speed of the ships.
Are those Ripper cannons on a floating fortress?
Yeah. Oh yeah, mate. These were epic. These were.
And then victory mortars.
2 with rippers and 3 with mortars, mate. This fleet was nails.
Yeah.
Those peacekeeper mortars or judgment? Oh, they're shockwaves. And siege
Judgment,
mortars.
You're joking, aren't you? This is going back probably.
I was trying to remember what the word was.
8 years ago.
Peacemakers, or I don't know. Okay.
No, it's
Peacemakers is the one I was thinking of. That's the one in
Peacemakers.
These are D71Ls. These are.
I remember hitting salvages, trying to get the 71N. I was trying to get to put on my DNX.
So this was back in the days where actually getting the OP didn't mean anything. You just wanted warehouses because you wanted the resources. That's all you wanted.
Yeah. Because resources are hard to get.
And you could tell how strong those turrets were by what color they were. So those are blue, which means those are titanium. That's the third one up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I like that. So it was very colourful back then. But I think Flash was actually better back then than what it was now, sort of stuff. But the graphics had to be much bigger as well because you couldn't get the detail. So screen resolution, I think I was on 720. Screen resolution back then.
Oh, you didn't even show the warehouses.
Oh no, that's a prep. Hey, we could prep back then, remember? This is prep, okay? So this guy and I used to battle every day. He'd come and hit me, and I used to go and hit him, and I have no idea if he still plays anymore. I doubt it very much. The chances are pretty certain. Look at the ship coming up there, look.
It's going towards his oil rig, taking his thing. And
he's going to attack him now and take
that. If that didn't come get it, the Draconians would come with their, every every hour, half hour, whatever it was.
That's it. Yeah. It's just funny. But I mean, the point is, we complain about the game today, but ultimately, just sometimes you just got to actually pause and go, should we really? Because it is in. It's come on leaps and bounds, from the graphical view and the design. You're almost like going from sort of like mini league to freaking national game, aren't you? When you think about it.
Yeah, and this is not really old as far as the
there's much older, isn't there?
Well, it's not really old because the warehouses are not the big comforter beds. Because I see that now. It looks like cargo boxes that would be loaded off on and off ships.
Yeah, the dock up the top. Look, bless it. And obviously, we didn't have anything else apart from just the dock. Then there was nothing, nothing on the sea really to.
And did you remember when they changed all the graphics around, including the walls? People complained so much, so they finally reverted the walls
it back. Again, didn't they? Changed it all back.
I think I quit when they did that change. And I wasn't even very involved in the game then. I was like, "Oh, this looks horrible. I'm not playing this."
So this is funny. So a win was to get a warehouse. That was crazy. And people just put their OPs on the outside, and then no one clocked on that actually it give you 20% res. So look at the warehouses there. Look, they look like ISO containers.
Look how slow you're going.
Yeah, that was
12 combat speed or 13.
8. Well, 8 is the base. So once you put on engine 3,
I think I had engine 1 at least. I don't think I even had engine 3.
Yeah, so
no upgrades as such. Then you couldn't upgrade.
So it's probably a combat speed of like 11. I told one of the designers, the floating fortress was like, it was like driving a school bus with a flat tire. Is what?
Or no tire.
Yeah.
It was funny. Anyway, that's enough of that rubbish. But I just thought it was funny. It just
no, keep it going.
No, you don't want to see that junk, mate. It's rubbish. But it was funny. I mean, I got a warehouse. That's what I did. I got one warehouse, and I was happy. And I saw that as a win, which I thought was really funny. But But I used to battle with that guy there. Another guy called Hannibal, and that sort of stuff. Another guy called something Cat. What was he called? He got done for hacking in the end, actually. I used to battle him, and he used to battle me. I was in Sector 27, and he was in 270. So 27.
Yeah, and that was the other big change in the game because there was so many between the glitch repairing and the hacking. There was so much just stuff going on there that it was, it turned a lot of people that were originally into PvP off of PvP because I don't even want to deal with those people.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It was funny days. I mean, I've got crazy stuff that I've just found this hard drive. It's got 30, 40, 50 videos on it from back in that era, and I'm like, good lord. It was I'm like, so the game has moved on considerably. I might make a compilation video and put them all together and put them up on
well, except for one of the things they lost was the was being able to tell different levels of defense platforms.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good point actually.
So
it's funny little things that have changed, but anyway, I long story short, everyone wants something different. Everybody wants something free, and it's hard to please everybody. So I don't envy them at all. But yeah, and the only video I haven't got is proper FPF videos. I haven't got any of those. I've only got some base videos, which is a shame.
And the different expectations that people had at different times. But let's, I guess we'll wind things up and go to the after show. And thanks everybody for showing up. And I guess we'll show up Wednesday. We'll be talking about pillage. But I mean, the last couple of months, there's less and less to talk about because it's like you automatically want to replace the newest thing with, with what the older thing was, and we're seeing the same targets again and again. I think it loses a lot of people in engagement because they've already seen everything before. There's not really, things aren't new, but whatever. It costs money to develop targets, so because I would like to see new targets, not just in the FM, because the FM is not really supposed to be like a challenge thing, but
Sorry, mate, I was just laughing as a guy just on the TFC page has gone 50 Devil's Chest opened, 0 black spots, so Kixie can kiss my chinos.
yeah. I mean,
that's not quite the words, but
yeah. Because if they want people to do it, it's like, okay, if you
how many years have we complained about random drops?
Yeah,
it should be a ratio 1 to 5, that sort of stuff. Well, I mean that's still random, but at least
the first one's guaranteed, the fifth one's guaranteed, every 10 is guaranteed.
So exactly. You might get it in 3, but you're going to get it definitely in 5. At least then you know where you've got to go to. And
I play other games where they show you what the odds are for drops.
This one you don't know. You don't even know if you put in time and go to forums what drops are even possible. We can sort of figure it out with a whole player base, but
50 chests and he's not dropped a single one. I mean that sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I would like you to go. That's it. Thanks. Well,
I stopped after. I think it was actually only 6. I said 8. I think it was 6, and at this point I've done 10. I haven't got one. It doesn't make me want to play the event.
Exactly, and do you know what? I was lucky. I managed to get that 2 today in the 3 rolls of 5, in back groups of 5, because I clocked somebody else that said roll them in groups. It works better. And I probably wouldn't have carried on either myself if I hadn't got those then. But I was just fortunately dropped. So I thought, right, I'll give it a go and see how quickly we can get through this target to get all those little bits done in one crew. And I just managed to do it. So I don't know. Anyway.
All right, I'm going to go get a beer, and you guys are welcome to join us in the after show, and I'll be back in a minute or two to let you in if you want to show up, and I will we'll see you all on Wednesday. So,
good night, all.
Later, people.
Good night.